I was in Detroit about 4 years ago. I was talking to a woman who was working in the inner city to help produce more professionals in the inner city. And she said something that was amazing to me. She said, I am working with people in the inner city who fought their way up to get educated and to get a degree, but still can't hold a job. I said, why? She said, because of under pressure, they revert back to their old methodology. So they're in a boardroom trying to deal with a conflict, and they get mad and start popping their neck and say, no. And I hadn't thought about it for years and years until I was sitting at a makeup table getting ready to do TV on the Today Show, and the lady was telling me she was from another country. And I said, oh, you don't sound like you came from that country at all. She said, really? I said, no, I don't hear any sound, any voice inflection, your no intonation that sounds like you don't have any kind of sound that sounds like you are not American at all. She said, well, you ought to see me when I get mad. She said, when I get mad and when I get excited, all of a sudden I sound like exactly where I came from. And when she said that, my mind went back to something that woman said all the way from Detroit. Because when people are up under pressure, they have a tendency to revert back to acting like where they came from. And they will curse where they are with the methodology of where they've been, because they cannot break the habit of responding up under pressure to this as if it were that. So education doesn't fix that. And a new house doesn't fix that. And a new husband doesn't fix that. And a new wife doesn't fix that. And a new church doesn't fix that, because that is something going on down inside of you. But if it remains unfixed, then 2006 will be like 2005. And 2007 will be like 2006. And 2008 will be like 2007. And 2009 will be like 2008, because you have not changed your method to match up with where you are. Somebody holler change. Somebody holler change. Somebody shout change. The hardest thing you will ever do in your life is change. You know, for years I've heard people say that they were waiting on God, and I've watched with amazement to understand that God, in fact, was waiting on them. The onus and responsibility often rests on us, first of all, to ask, to seek, to knock. If we don't become the aggressor in the process of change, it will never happen. God will never break in against our will, rape us into the submission that he wants us to have. He's just not that kind of God. He's a gracious God. He's a gentleman. And so he gives us the opportunity. We have to seize the opportunity. You cannot make a great decision guided by your emotions. He says, I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. It's not working. It's taken a lot out of me. It's taken up space. It's taken time. It's taken up soil. 3 years I've expected something from this tree. This man is a businessman. He's not just hungry. He wants to sell these figs and turn it into something productive. It is not working. I can put something else in this space that works and go on with it. I'm sick of it. Go away. Watch out for making decisions out of your emotions. Now, I'm going to tell you, if I didn't say anything else today and I just turned around and walked out of the door right now, I have said something enough that it was worth you getting out of the bed to come this morning, because most people are being guided by their feelings. And the problem with that is sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you feel sanctified, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you feel like being married, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you feel like being submissive, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you feel like being creative, sometimes you don't. And if you are guided by your feelings, your life is going to be up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. And when the Bible said, be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, you can't be fruitful if you're not stable, and you can't be stable if you're guided by your emotions. Some of you would have been fruitful years ago, but you keep changing. You changed everything. You changed jobs. You changed husbands. You changed houses. You haven't stayed anywhere long enough to accrue any value in anything you do, because you are guided by impatience. Frustration will wreck your life. Oh God, I'm going to ride it till I break it. I can feel it in here now. I can feel it. I declare I can feel a spirit of frustration, and I'm going to drive it till I drive it out, because the enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And frustration is an enemy that will wreck the master's plan for your life. Sometimes you just have to be still and know that God is God, and trust him and wait on him. He may not come when you want him, but he's right on time. You have to stop asking yourself how you feel and start saying, what do you believe? Because what you believe is always contradiction to how you feel. And stand on what you believe. You don't have to feel saved to be saved. You don't have to feel married to be married. You don't have to feel blessed to be blessed. You have to stand on what you believe and then bring your feelings in alignment with what you believe. I'm the head and not the tail. I'm above and not beneath. I'm more than a conqueror through him that loved me. The people around you are saying stuff like, who does she think she is? Oh, they're saying, oh, you're supposed to be saved now. What they're really saying is, I don't give you the permission to change. They mean, I am only comfortable with you as long as you act like you used to. If you change in any way, I no longer relate to you, so I don't feel related to you, so there must be something wrong with you for moving ahead. Can I work on this a little while? Now, most people don't make it past the criticism of their peers. If your peers don't give you permission to change, you will give up on your future so that you can have the camaraderie of your constituents. You will step back into your past because you just want to hang around your old friends so that they will accept you, because how they think about you is more important to you than how you think about yourself, and you lack the strength to change to become what you want to be, so you give up this and go back to that because that is familiar, and now you're back in that, but you're bitter in that because deep down in your heart you know you were created to be this over here, but you let that person pull you back to that over there. So you gave up on being a wife and gave up to be a slut. You gave up on being a free woman, and now you're just an extra woman, and you can't be happy going back to where you were because that's not really who you are, but you allowed somebody to pull you back because they are comfortable with you as being an extra woman rather than to be the woman. Y'all ain't gonna bother me. Y'all